Welcome back to Make It Mondays, and this week you will probably be noticing a trend of donated yarn. So I got 8 skeins of this, so this is a little less than 1 skein, and this will be to make a sweater, hopefully. Now, this yarn is going to be made on size 6 needles, so 4mm if you're watching this outside the United States. And I'm gonna go try making up a swatch and wash it, because this is the first time in a very long time for me that I'm actually knitting with wool. And wool does some funny things when you wash it. So I'm gonna see if this is actually washing machine friendly. The ball band says it is, but trust it, but I'm gonna verify. So I'm gonna go ahead and knit up a small swatch of the pattern the stitch pattern I'm going to do, and then I'm going to throw it through the washing machine and see what happens. So here is that swatch. So up where you can kind of see where the stitches are, and then let's see if I can get it to focus. Looks like it's not really going to focus that well. So it is a rib stitch. Yeah, it's just not going to focus. It didn't actually shrink or felt or anything funky in the wash, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of a mistake rib, kind of a normal rib. So it's a 3x3, but the knit ridges have seed stitch going down the middle. So I can tell that it's not showing up well in the camera at all. You can kind of tell that there's a texture there. So now it's off to work on the math part of this. So I've gone through and taken all my body measurements again, and I just needed to wait for it to come out of the dryer to see what would happen with it. So once I get through that, I'll be back to show you that part. I know the math is not interesting to a lot of people, and in fact scares a lot of people. So if you want to skip that, feel free. So it took me a little bit. Not a lot of time, but it took me a little bit. So there's the math. Yes, I know that means nothing to most of you, but I did it in number of ridges. So again, it's a knit 3, purl 3 kind of sort of rib. And I wanted the ribs to match up correctly at the shoulder seam. So that was my starting point. And then I had to work out from there how many ribs across. So the shoulder seam, and then all the way across, and then if I tilt that down, across my upper bust, full bust, waist and hips. And I think I figured it out. Just like the last sweater that I did on this channel, I have not worked out the sleeves. Again, I do not know how much yarn I'm going to have and how long I'm going to be able to make my sleeves. I would love for them yet again to come to here. Just come just to the crook of my elbow, because that's what I find flattering on myself. But if it ends up being a vest, it ends up being a vest. So I don't quite know how it's going to look, but this is the planning stage. Trying to remember if I drew on this one. Not really. So it is going to be an open front cardigan with no closure at all, with a folded back collar, but it's going to be an integrated collar. So like I'm not going to make a separate piece for it. And then the portions that are on the inside of the shoulder seam, so the part that's here in the knitting, will just go up around the back of the collar and be bound off together at the back of my neck. So this is going to be worked from my hip line up. I am doing some decreases from my hips up to my underarms. I'm not actually making any kind of indent for my waist. It's not necessary when there's no closure. So it's going to take me a while to get through that. So that's actually going to be next episode. But yeah, new sweater on the way. We will see how long this one takes. I'm guessing 2 or 3 episodes, so I'll see you in 2 weeks for Make It Mondays.